startup called Angira Sandi Private Limited. So before I begin, how many of you have heard about a city called Udaipur? I come from this place, which is a very beautiful place, surrounded with Aravali ranges, have lakes, greenery, but it has also have another picture. Seems like always it's just a first trial. Sorry. But it has also a different picture, which is this. Lot of single-use plastic waste, lot of marble slurry, and lot of industrial waste, which ends up in the landfills, lakeside, or on the roadside, which destroying the beauty of my city. And this is not the only problem of Udaipur, but it is a global problem. So, as a civil engineer student, we decided we have to take an action against this problem, and we just could thought of using this waste into construction industry, making bricks, paper blocks, and all those things. But going forward, doing market research in the industry, we also come across another very, very big problem, which is of the brick kiln industry. Well, many of us use bricks, different kind of bricks, but we don't know that today clay bricks is responsible for the total carbon emission of up to 9%, consume million tons of natural resources, and which only operates for 6 to 8 dry months. On the other side, the developers, the builders, the contractors face the issue of poor quality, irregular supplies, and given today the government schemes, which is banning on the clay bricks, it's creating an issue for the end user. So, and today it is at the edge of getting closed on by the central government, NGT, and by the state government. But what other solution do we have? So here we come into the picture. We have developed an in-house sustainable technology to make such products like bricks, paper blocks using alternate recycled waste material, which is today ending up in the oceans or in the landfill site or in the cement factories for burning. The product has been tested by on all the primary test results by the NABL and ISO labs, which gives it the strength of up to 10 megapascal, have water absorption lesser than 5% and weighs 1 kg lesser than weight. But what does it mean for us? It means that it is 30% light in weight, that reduces the overall structure weight, reduces the cost, transportation cost. It is 80% dam-proof, waterproof, that does not allow water to pass from one end to another, that saves the structure from efflorescence, water leakage, and all those issues, and also save waterproofing cost. And it is 40% stronger, that increase the durability and the lifetime of your structures. So comparing to the other bricks in the market, we see that no other brick are dam-proof. Also, the processing days just take 1 day, and we can deliver bricks at your own site within a 1 or 2 day. And also, it is recyclable for secondary structures, given that customer and plant are in the same geographies. And before you apply bricks, you need to soak into the water, but we also save that soaking time, water, and other costs. And given these benefits, the price is similar, it's competitive, same as the other bricks in the market. So you don't need to pay extra. There are similar companies who are working on the same projects, recycling waste to building materials, but how we are different? Either they use the same process of adding shredded plastic waste to, with mixing with sand and cement and laying down in the molds of blocks and drying in for the 5-7 days, or either they use heavy machineries, but we fall in between them. We have developed our own in-house technology, patent pending technology, which requires only 40 minutes per batch, requires only 3-4 laborers because we have automated the whole process, and requires only 7,000 to 10,000 square feet of area at commercial, compared to the brick kilns of fly ash, which require 2 to 4 acres of land. So we are saving on the capital cost as well. We manufacture bricks at 4 or 5 rupees, and we sell with 2 rupees of gross margin, which is the highest in the brick manufacturing compared to the other bricks, which has only 50 paisa to 1 rupees of gross margin. And given the 12-month projected revenue, we are planning to start by January, with 70% sales, we'll be able to generate more than 1 CR of revenue. But we don't want to be a brick selling company. We want to be a solution providing company to the brick industry. And we plan to franchise or license the technology, charging 20% licensing cost, and that will generate the revenue of 6 lakhs per franchisee. And the whole setup can be established within the investment of 40 lakhs, and the brick manufacturer can break even within 9 to 12 months. Why we are targeting brick industry and why India? Because it is the second largest brick manufacturing country after China, and hence the right place for us to start. And we are targeting to start with the major green building market. We are targeting Bangalore because it is the second ranking in highest ranking in the green building sector, and it's worth around 238 CR and growing with a CAGR of 11%. In 6 months, our plan is to validate do the customer validation, complete the trials, and have the already 10,000 plus orders from the companies like Brigade, Koiwal, Brizzy Studio, Priyanka Arjun Associates, and few couple of contractors in Udaipur. We are the team of civil engineers with right kind of experience and clear vision. I've been part of startup school programs, accelerator programs at IIMs. My co-founder have a 2 years of work experience in project management consultancy, where he comes with, where he worked with contractors like L&T, and we have mentors who comes with research, business, and technical expertise. Currently incubated at CI Ahmedabad and under the acceleration program of Brigade Reap for the business mentorship and venture center for the technical mentorship. We have raised 107 lakhs of pre-seed funding for pilot validation, setting up the pilot plant, and doing the for the product validation. And this has been from the ministries like Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, TIE Udaipur Angel Investors, Startup Oasis, Startup Seed Fund, of Government of India, Nidhi Prayas, DST, and lot more. And in next 6 months, we are planning to raise 2 CR of revenue for setting up the commercial plant and the working capital. Our impact till date, we have recycled 15 ton of waste, reduced the carbon emission by 2.5 ton, and generate the employment of around 6 plus. And our goal is by 2026 to take this impact by 90%, contributing to SDG 12, 13, 8, and also in future contributing to SDG goal 9 and 17. This is some of our recognition. Winner of Global Plastic Challenge by Uplink, World Economic Forum, Top Innovator, winner of second runner-up and champion of Thai University Pitch Global Competition, and also the winner of Asia Pacific Housing Forum by Switch Asia, Habitat for Humanity, and lot more recognition by the global organizations as well. At last, I would say that we are on a mission of improving the world brick by brick and recycling the waste, reducing the carbon emission, and look forward for your support. Thank you so much.
I hope there's a mic provided there, and your 5 minutes time of Q&A. Judges and investors, please.
Very good presentation, Kunjpreet. Quick question. You talked about licensing the technology, right? Do you have an IP already issued on this?
Sorry?
You have an IP?
Yes, ma'am. We have 2 patents already filed. These fall under the utility patent, technology
Granted
patent.
or not yet?
We had a hearing last week, expecting to be granted in 1 or 2 months.
Okay, but you're thinking of
Pending,
technology
pending.
transfer, right? Like for the royalties and everything. So
Yeah, but
you need to have a patent handy for that, right?
yeah. So we are on that process, and we are not going to license in sooner, but maybe after 6 or 7 months once we have done the product validation.
Okay,
That.
sure. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, Kunjpreet, what are the terms for your 2 CR raise?
We are definitely looking for equity investment that we can discuss later, the valuation and all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So you mentioned about sustainability and impact of having SDGs and all that. What is your look forward for those kind of segments? Are you looking on social impact or any other investment options also?
Yes, we are also looking for CSR and grants. I mean, we also have recently also done a CSR project with TechNip, so we are also open for doing an social impact projects as well.
Thank you.
But that's not the only objective. We want to be a profit-making company.
So now you have some time, you can just tell the terms, you might get a check.
Yeah, Kunjvi, I had one question. I think I've seen the pitch earlier and it was a good one. My question is, there are multiple other alternatives for recycling the plastic waste. I think very recently we have seen Nitin Gadkari talk about laying of roads with the plastic and mixing it and, some component there. I just wanted to understand, how do you face a challenge from other competitors who are also trying to recycle the single waste plastic? And why do you think you are a better alternative than the rest of them? If tomorrow, I'll just follow up with my question. If tomorrow, let's say, the other alternative industry is actually picking up and making good amount of margin, maybe tomorrow we see that there's no landfills of wastage and maybe you will not find sufficient amount of plastics as well. How would you think about that?
Sure, sir. Very good question. I'll answer your first question. So, using single-use plastic waste in making of road construction would have a different impact, because when a heavy vehicle pass on the roads, it creates a lot of impact on the plastic and it heats up, and the quality of roads again degrades, and therefore the single-use plastic waste is not a good option for construction of road as of now. Otherwise, it requires sort of chemicals to add on. MLP has no solution as of now. LDP, PET has solution, it is recycling, and therefore we are targeting the single-use plastic waste, but single-use plastic waste also have a 70 plus categories, and we are majorly targeting MLP like Kurkure ka packet and all. And this currently is a big issue, and we are sourcing at around like 2 to 3 rupees per kg, which is very minimum right now. If we are out of waste, if we are out of plastic waste, we would probably either use cement as a binder. Maybe like it's just a thought, because right now we are using plastic as a binder. We need to figure out other binders then. But I think that's not going to happen so soon.
It's okay. So how many are gonna order bricks or bricks? Any show of audience? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2. So you got customers. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
If you get customers, you'll get investors.
Thank you.
Good job, Kunjpreet. Kunjpreet is one of the fighters in the student domain. We always appreciate the way she participates and the kind of energy she brings onto the stage. Now we'll give a minute for the judges to lock in the scores. It's a smooth process. Thanks to Partha from Thai Global. I keep doing these endorsements and fillings wherever it's required. Yeah. 1 minute, then we'll have the next participant is ready. I think I'll utilize this time for next participant introduction. We spoke about bricks in the houses. Now this guy is talking about brains. Both of the bricks and brains start with BR. And this guy comes from the place where we always want to be, or we can be better, Bangalore. Chai Bangalore. 2 minutes. Your time will start. Yeah, once the judges say yes, then we'll move forward. Done? Shri is done. I think Partha has. Once Partha says yes, then we'll move. Partha is the big boss. He keeps checking who. Okay. Done. Awesome. Next we have Siddharth from Thai Bangalore. Give a big round of applause for the Zuron. Zuron with X.
Good morning, all. So why am I here? We know that brain is a very complex and amongst the most complex organs in your body, right? But at the same time, do we know that brain has about 100 billion neurons in that small piece of the organ that we have? In our body, we have billions of cells. Each of these cells daily die, daily regenerate. But if this neuron starts dying, it doesn't regenerate. Unfortunately, most of the diseases are somehow directly or indirectly controlled by the brain. And hence, to solve this problem, we are building Xeron.ai so that we can decipher the brain. So what's the problem that we are trying to solve? So the whole story for me with regards to this problem started with my mom. This is back in 2011-12. My mom got diabetic neuropathy. She got diabetes at the age of about 35. And by the time she was 41, it affected her eyes. That affected her neurons as soon as we did a retinal surgery. Now next what? Because of the neuropathy, her right leg went numb, she couldn't walk, and it was a painful scenario. And that's when my background has been in bioengineering. I took a plunge from my job. I joined a master's so that I can access lab and started to build a system around neuromodulations. Luckily, I was successful. I could help her to move around, do a good job around that. Unfortunately, I missed the bus. I did not look into the root cause. And unfortunately, because of that, last month, she expired. But however, I understood the whole problem is not just one or the other. It's the entire aging process that we go through. We think aging is 60s. Not true. We start aging physically when we are 20 and mentally when in our 40s. Unfortunately, a lot of stress in our personal and professional lives means that this entire aging process accelerates. Thereby, you getting a lot of chronic diseases, chronic conditions, which ends up, leading into a lot of disabilities. Now, why we all earn money? So that we have a happy retirement, happy life later on after 60s. But if you're not healthy, if you're not able to sustain, you are going to spend all that money in healthcare and you are still going to be poor. And that's the exact problem that we are trying to solve. So how are we solving this problem? So we, as Xeron, we've understood that these issues are not like just looking into your body or just looking into your food or just looking into this thing, but we need to look into a holistic system. But our approach has been, we believe, all this thing works when your brain is in the right place, your mind is in the right place. And hence, our whole focus starts from the brain, goes on to the body, and leads to the blood. So that's the whole 3 parts that we are trying to build. And because of this, when we use digital markers and biomarkers, this could help us in disease management / reversals. It would help us in prevention of various neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, etc. It would help in monitoring the progression of your disease condition, including even the cancer. And finally, it becomes a whole digital therapeutic solution. Now, I know it looks all big, all deep tech, and all these things. And we recognize this fact. And we can't build the last point in the first. So we have done 2 things at this point of time. I'll just skip this video because this just shows the overall vision borrowed from Microsoft Health Vision 2020, where they had a vision of how a person can actually go through. But I'll just skip this video for now. I'll just come down to the solutions that we have. So we have 2 parts to the solution. We understand India is a price-sensitive market. We understand if we make a variable, not many could afford, right? Hence, we are building 2 solutions. One is a complete digital-based solution, which we launched in December. We have 54 paid customers for this. This digital solution is, have you played a dino game in Chrome when the internet goes off? So there's this T-Rex, when you press spacebar, it jumps. When you press the down button, it ducks. We thought, it's an interesting game for our MVP. Why don't we utilize this? So the whole idea was, can we just make a user jump, and the dino jumps, and duck, dino ducks. Raise your hands, dino jumps, put your down, it ducks. In this, we started doing 2 things. One, we started to evaluate cognition. How are you looking into your stimulus? How are you looking into various focuses that you've been given? Second, while you do so, we are able to kind of look into your overall physical parameters. How are you jumping? What's happening? Etc., etc. The gait part of it. Gait is how you move around, etc. And at the same time, all the physical aspects of it. Hence, the solution is completely live. So now left blood part in MVP. For our MVP that we have launched, we request our users to kind of upload their blood reports or take blood reports through us so that we get their metabolic data. In due course of time, in about 6 months, we'll be adding the whole genomic sequencing around it, where it's not just about sequencing and telling you or making you afraid of what are you going to die with, but also help you with solving it therapeutically through various gene therapies, etc. And we have a team for that, so that's the whole best part of it. So as I told you, the second part of it, which will be more accurate, more sensitive, and more reliable. We made a variable for this, which will be launching only in the next year. The MVP will be launched, where we made a smart footwear. And this footwear basically looks into your motion in a very minute aspect. So both the legs have sensor. And you know what? When we have fever, the first thing that gets affected is your motion. And that's what we are trying to target. This could give us the entire brain and mental map, with additional applications, not only in digital therapeutics that we are talking about, but also in areas like XR, etc. And hence, we are part of one of the programs by Meta and Mighty. So this is a demo which I'm just skipping for now, with just, yeah. And this is how the current dashboard looks like, which gives you the whole unlocking your brain potential aspect of it with all the cognitive insights. Right now, we show 6 cognitive insights. However, behind the scenes, we are looking into 140. This 6 people understand, and hence we show the 6 at this point of time. So with regards to competition, when we talk about disease reversal, like diabetic reversals, etc., which is possible, there are some competitors like, I'm not naming them at this point of time, but all of them looks into nutrition and physical activity. But that's not enough. When you are stressed, I'm not bothered about how much to eat, but I just want to eat, right? So that's the reason why we are looking into your brain more importantly, while focusing on your food and this thing as well. But overall, if we put ourselves in the global landscape, we come into the 4 parts: wellness, monitoring progression, treatment, and precision medicine. And our biggest competitors that we see is Cognifit, Vibrain, MindMaze, and Neomora. So as a team, fortunately, I have a background in bioengineering. I had a startup earlier, and I was doing my PhD at IISc Bangalore when all these things started. And while doing so, I found my co-founder, Charminar, who has a background in biotechnology, and she has completed her PhD in aging and neurodegeneration. My co-team members, Palash, Parul, Jyoti, comes with backgrounds from genomics, quantum physics, AI, nanosciences, etc. We've been supported by our mentors because they had Parkinson's, and thereby they were very close to this. Now, with regards to our journey, right, though we started the whole company in 2019, we started working, to be frank, in 2020, because 19 to 20, I was focused on getting my thesis out of my way, which I've finished, but I've not written my thesis yet. So what happens in this is, we started to work, we got a couple of government grants, we got a pre-seed round from Campus Fund, Raghunandan, and Derby Foundation of about 80 lakh rupees. We've got grants worth around 24 lakh rupees for now, and cash prizes around 14 lakhs at this point of time. We launched our smart insole because insoles had a little aspect of it. So we wanted to do an alpha testing on Are We Right? That was launched in April, where we had 14 users to test it and get it confirmed. And December 1st, we launched our digital therapeutic platform with 54 private users who have paid us to join the program. We are right now looking into a raise of funds, which will help us to have our public beta and also get into our AI and brain aspect of it. Of course, one of the asks is the money. Everyone needs money to build what we are building. But apart from that, we are looking to bring in advisors for our business, technology, medicine, etc. So Connect would be really, really helpful. And the possible collaborations would be really helpful. A lot of players have supported in the ecosystem, and I'm thankful for each one of them. Finally, we are not stopping here. Our vision is quite big, and we have the audacity to dream. We intend to decipher the brain such that those schema can be utilized in areas like extended reality, supercomputing, quantum computing, etc. Finally, our mission is Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, which translates to may everyone in this world be happy. And why is this our mission? Because if everyone is happy, their mind is happy, we are not needed in this world. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Maybe we can go back a couple of slides back. Kindly put the slides. A couple of judges were asking about a couple of slides which were missed. Yeah. No, back. Before the journey.
Right. This?
No, next.
The team slide.
The team slide. Yeah. Team and journey are the slides, 2 slides, right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. The floor is open for questions now. Thank you. Shri. Kindly pass the mic, please. Yeah.
Siddharth, firstly, deepest condolences to you. My question is, how do you map the readings that you're getting to specific diseases, and how do you qualify or validate the accuracy of the results?
Yeah, sure. So initially, the one that we have launched now is more on wellness, well-being, where we are not looking into accuracy at the moment, but get the data connections right. And how do we map is there are 2 ways that we look into it. One is we are kind of asking our users to wear a watch if they can. If not, at least use their phones to put in their pocket so that we can get some of their physiological data. That's one. Secondly, we are partnering with 2 good hospitals in Bangalore and Jodhpur who are focused on this anti-aging aspect that we are trying to work on, which will help in a better aspect around it. And they are helping us to validate the whole solution. So the clinical validation will go on in parallel. The deep tech will continuously be built while we keep selling the digital therapeutic solution as a well-being aspect of it. And just a little more, give you an idea. So when we are looking into the brain and the body regularly at a good, like almost a daily time interval, we are correlating it with the blood data that we are getting after every 3 months. So that's how we are trying to connect the dots of brain, body, and blood, right?
So what is the actual feedback that you give your customers?
So currently, the actual
Right now,
feedbacks that we are giving is the insights on how they are doing cognitively, and they're seeing a chart of how they are improving game by game. So we have a last 15 game record at this point of time, along with the health and the blood data. So that's what right now we are stopping at, because if we go a little more ahead, we need to get into the clinical validation aspect of it. So we are stopping ourselves over there. But they can connect with the doctors through us if they have any, if they want more answers from that aspect of it.
So you're just giving them the status right now, not a solution or a feedback on what they should be doing.
This is technically a therapeutic. So now, for example, if you're playing a game and you lost it, you yourself have seen the data. Now you want to improve the data, right? So you automatically keep improving yourself.
Okay.
So that's why this data becomes very important.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not clear about the revenue plan. How are you going to make money?
Thanks. So there are 2 aspects to this. One is we need a lot of consumer data. We are looking into 10,000 points in next 12 months so that we can finish our AI in brain model of development of that model. But we are also looking into the B2B2C partnerships where a lot of hospitals have these days come up with this lifestyle solutions where they're looking into chronic disease reversals, gene therapy, etc. So we are partnering with them because we give a lot of valuable data for them. We've spoken to a couple of them and they have shown a lot of interest around this aspect of it. HCG being one of it for both oncology and anti-aging aspect of it. And apart from that, for our insoles, we've got interest from giants in the world, likes of, I cannot name it because things are still under discussion, but quite a bit of interest over there. But yeah, so overall, both B2B and B2C and B2B2C, all the 3 aspects are open. Currently, how we have rolled out is a B2C for our public beta, so that we get a lot of data. And one of the most important thing is we need the same data from all of it, that is blood, brain, and body. Hence, not plugging in just one solution to others.
Hey, Siddharth, Sanjay here. You went across like quite a big of disease spectrum, right? But if you were to pick in this small journey, and if you were to pick one and focus on, what would it be that you can focus on and have some results? Because the things that you're talking about, you might only get results when you get to my age, right? The things that you need is that will give you results in next 2-3 years. Right. What would it be that you pick?
So our current focus for the next 2 years is diabetes, because diabetes affect all the organs in your body. So it technically takes the entire spectrum. So that's our first focus. But our parallel focus is in Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, etc. Because if you look into Parkinson's alone, as per Michael J. Fox Foundation's data, there are 1 million Parkinson's patients in the US And that costs the exchequer about $51 billion, where $25 billion is on medical and the direct cost. $25.6 billion are in other costs like leave of absence, caregiving, etc., early retirement, etc., etc., etc. So that's the kind of cost that the exchequer is bearing.
Let's have one last question. I think Chris, kindly keep your answers, Chris.
I'll just keep it short. I had a question. More or less, you're an analytics or therapeutics company of what you're talking about, which gives you data points for development. We did work with another company from Bangalore, which is actually providing a medical solution for the same concept of anti-aging that you're saying. Do you see them as a threat, or do you see them as a probable combination at some point of time?
We see them as a more of a collaborator than a competitor over here, because because we need a lot of data points to get everything in place. But as I told you, our bigger vision is to decipher the brain so that we can apply things other than the healthcare as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Siddharth.
Thank you.
We always knew anti-aging creams were there. Now it's brain. So I thought anti-aging creams were the only thing which is left. Give a big round of applause. He deserves. I think he's one of the most highest qualified guys in the room, I guess. IISc, Bangalore, PhD, and everything. Okay, you make me conscious. So, next 1 minute for the judges to fill in the questions. Partha, all are fine, judges' scores? More two?
All good.
We are moving to Mysore. From Thai Mysore, we have a very interesting startup called as AeroGo. And we have Gautami to present AeroGo, and it's all about our childhood dream. We all wanted to fly an aeroplane.
Yes.
And now she's going to explain how she's going to make all of us fly aeroplanes. Yeah, over to you. Forward. This is backward. You can use 1, 1, 1. Yeah? Check it. Don't use back always. No?
Good morning, everybody present here. From Amazon to Adani, everybody are interested and everybody are investing and take a bet on drone industry. Why so? From healthcare to agri-tech to mining to construction to defense and security, India or the nation globally are seeking for the innovations and technology in the drone and UAV sector. But do we have enough exposure to aerospace and aviation sector in the country? Do we have enough early grassroots level learning in our youngsters? And most importantly, do we have enough skilled UAV engineers and pilots to contribute to this demand? So that's where AeroGo is for you. And when we decided that we have some problem here, we went and checked, is there a paying customers for this problem? So that's where we see India being the global lead in this, where we have a vision to make India a drone hub. And when we have a demand of catering to 1 lakh pilots by 2030, and this is a great market for us to start. And being the highest youngster populated country, and growing and youngster-driven country taking forward. So we had a great market size here, just in the K-12, with a very good growth from 1.2 billion to 4.2 billion by 2020 to 2025. We saw the problem, we saw the market, then we said, let's go test it out in the market. There we come up with our solutions for 2 segments. One, making a complex science, a fun science for children in the age bracket 8 years to 16 years. And making a serious learning for engineering students and making upskilling them to be a better engineers who can go out there and do all the things required for this drone and UAV industry. So one-stop solution for children with our subscription model, where we morely focus on hobby building and skilling them, not just one time for over a period of 1 year in the domains they choose. It might be aero modeling, it might be drone, it might be astrophysics, or it might be astronomy. So they choose what they are interested in, and we train them, skill them as a fun and hobby learning throughout a span of 1 year with all the additional values which we are providing with that. And for engineering students, currently we are having a skill development program. So apart from this, what is the USP that we have? The tech what we are building behind it. India has seen an IT revolution, and now we are the best solution in IT hub. But do we have a better designers, better engineers to do design in-house? Because even today, we might say it's make in India, but most of the parts are imported from China. It's just because we need more of exposure, more of people getting into it and actually building the tech here. And we are developing the platform where children are learned through gamification. They are learned aeronautics, the complex sciences in a gamified way. And for engineers, it's a serious learning where they learn the concepts in a deeper and a best method possible and implement with the hands-on projects. So the go-to-market approach here. So we cater in 3 segments. The first, in the coming year, what we are planning how to go about in the market is, the first thing is B2C, where we are looking for 500 customers in the next 2023 through our first B2C approach, where we are in talks with the taxi service providers for airport and the school van service providers. So we tie up with them. We are running a referral program because we see most of the parents nowadays are getting more educated. We have educated parents who take conscious decisions and who want their children not to just do for something fun, but actually take it up as a hobby and learn it very, very accurately. So that's what we have seen through our customers so far. So we are running a referral program through airport taxi drivers because airport is something relates to aviation, and people who go there would definitely be our prospects. And the second is B2B, where we are collaborating with the schools and we are supporting them with a year-long curriculum, and where we give them our own designed curriculum courses as well as our own designed kit supplies what we give them, so they get hands-on development. Here the one big thing is now the Atal Labs. The Atal Labs is a great market for us where we supply our kits in this field. Like most of the Atal Labs has robotics, most of the Atal Labs has other things, but when it comes to aero modeling, they don't have, so that's where we provide it. So then is B2B2C, where we are looking for a franchisee model. This will be set up in the next 2 years, like in 2024. So far we have supplied 200 plus kits to the different parts of the in the country, different parts of the states, and 750 students have been trained, and we have 5 plus institutional partners. And most of the target customers come from 15 to 20 years age group, and 4 out of 5 are very satisfied with the solution we are providing. And these are some of the competitors in the game, and that's how we are better with whatever the solutions we are providing them with the usage of tech and our in-house development. So the milestones, so this year we are targeting developing for the overall, like 2023 will take for the tech side development and the kit and course development, and we'll be doing and making our stand in the schools and in the colleges through the sales of our kit and course. Meanwhile, we'll develop the tech in the over a period of 1 year. And then in 2024, we'll be going for the franchisee model, where we collaborate with the activity centers and the potential individuals who can run our programs with the help of the tech what we develop. And so far, with the grants and with the the prizes and with the sales what we have done, so we have cumulative collection of 35 lakhs, and today we are looking to raise 2 crores of fund, and this is the projection for next 3 years. In 2023, we will be making 3 crores, where the 50% will come from B2B and 50% will come from B2C. And then the fund utilization is like this, where 24% goes for the salary and for us to survive, and the marketing is 27.5%, where we are running the campaigns, we are running the referral programs, and for the marketing of schools, like we are building a distribution channel of people who can take directly to the school founders or to the main decision makers. And the 40% here goes for the tech development, the production, where it's a virtual production as well as the physical kit production. And the remaining is the miscellaneous and the admin cost. So why we to execute this problem? So we are a passionate aeronautical engineers, and myself Gautami TS, very passionate from childhood on aircrafts flying and drones flying. I went on to do my aeronautical in Nite Meenakshi, and myself and my co-founder Jitendra are all India rank below 200 in one of the toughest exam called GATE in aerospace divisions. Then I went on to study in IIST, where I saw like, no, it's not about the college where you study. It's about what you do when you are in the college. So I decided, no, let me not spend on research anymore for next 2 years. Instead, let me do the research in my own company. So I quit. I come to the company. I again start building the tech for them. I start doing research, do marketing, and now we are building a strong team of the designers, the strong team of the people who can develop tech like virtual and the AR thing for us. And we have great mentors with us who are supporting continuously. Mr. Sudanva, the president of TAI Mysuru, Ambrish sir, Chandrakant sir, who is doing our entire branding. And we have Prem sir here, who have been constant support from TAI chapter. And these are some of the awards and recognition we have got. We were the runner-ups in TAI Mysuru Student Pitch Fest. We were the winner of Elevate 2021, which is a flagship event of Startup Karnataka. And we are the top 3 startups in Beyond Bengaluru. And today we are the finalists of TAI Global Pitch Fest. And we have been collaborated with 3 institutions and Aura School of Platform and 3 industry MOUs. And this is a glimpse of the experience, what we did as a pilot batch. And thank you, everyone. It's the humans who drive the business, and we need to create those humans because we believe everybody can drive this in the front line without a tag. Thank you, everybody, and let's make this complex science a fun science.
Thank you. I think we have the jury. Timer, please. Yeah.
Anything on the school revenues you mentioned? How much is your study on how the school revenues will help you? Because it's most complex system in the schools. So your thoughts on that?
Exactly, sir. So in school, we have 2 models. One is we directly supply our kits to the Atal labs. The second model is we support them with their curriculum. Like according to NEP 2020, like all the schools and colleges must have aerosport related activity in their curriculum, where we come into picture, give them a 1-year subscription on a student basis, provide them the hands-on experience, provide them the courses relevant to it with the tutor support in-house in the campus.
Gautami, my question is, you are thinking of like creating a pipeline for the market need, like the industry requirements, right? Are you taking feedback from the industry on the curriculum and like what exactly the kid should have? And another thing is, utter tinkling labs is not like, I would say it's not working, Most of the labs are shut down. If you wanted to take that route, then it's going to be a lot of work for you. For sure, you need a resource person over there who takes care of like setting up the lab and like, doing everything for you over there. But having said that, like, do you have any experts like from the industry kind of helping you with like all the curriculum and the kits?
Yes, ma'am. So all the curriculum and the concepts what we develop are a collaborative development from the industries. Like a professor who was ex-DRDO DG is helping us out with his network, where we sit down with the scientists and talk to them, understand what exactly they need in a people, and we sit and do the discussion with them, come up with a curriculum. And we also take the inputs from the drone industries. Like for example, we had a Maru drones here exhibiting past 2 days. So like that, the industries from Bangalore who are supporting us, and we have seen that the requirement is like, there is a DGCA certification for pilots, which runs for around 5 days, but you're not ensured that you're a skilled pilot. They spend a lot of years in research development to develop one drone, and you give that drone to an unskilled pilot, and it's gone in just 5 minutes. It doesn't take much time. So now most of the industries who are doing services in drone, they ask us like, do you have a skilled pilots? We need a fixed wing pilots. We need an engineer who can understand and then fly, not just fly. So we sit with them, ask what is your need, like what type of things you need, and then we are developing things according to that.
And quick follow-up, do you also kind of get the industry to hire from the people who get certified from?
Yes, yes. The engineering segment is a serious work what we are doing, like we skill them, we get them placed. And this is the impact what we are creating in the job creation in a Make in India initiative.
Could you throw some light on the supply chain process, the way, how are you getting these kits manufactured and sourced?
Yeah, so currently the design is done in-house, where my team sits and do all the design testing, and the production we do from Mumbai, where we have collaborated with there is one person called Deepak here who does a production for the big companies, where we get our production done in a cheaper cost, because he uses the materials in that way. Like since he do a big productions, he has lot of materials, kept wasted, and our parts might be used from there without compromising the quality. So we get a production done by through Mumbai vendor.
And you also mentioned a few competitors, right? How different is your product? Whereas some of the Q&A and other sessions, you mentioned that you only provided, but from a kit perspective, how different are your kits compared to those? How easy would it be for them to actually add on the services that you provide?
Correct. So a few competitors here are only focused on offline workshops, like it might be a 1-day workshop or 2-day workshop, but that is not scalable. We didn't want it to be a workshop making companies run around here. So then we did a test pilot on workshops to see how students are learning, what they're actually expecting out of this learning. So then there are few competitors who are doing these courses as a curriculum to the curriculum to the schools as well. Where we come edge over them is with our tech platform, what we are building, where we actually give them that environment of, the virtual environment of flying, the virtual environment of understanding. Okay, like for example, take an aircraft. The aircraft to take off, you need to attain certain velocity. So if you go and explain to a child, this is this velocity, this is unstick velocity, they don't understand. So we make it in a gamified way. Like they play it as a game. Like once they, like for example, all the courses what we have are gamified. Like once they complete a course, they get a part out of the end. Like once they complete, they get one single part out of it, and they keep collecting these parts to make their own aircraft. Like this, once they attain certain numbers, like the points, their aircraft takes off. So we are gamifying this way for them to learn it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody.
Thank you. So we are done midway now. I think we have the 3 pictures done. So we have 3 more left. So before that, I wanted to thank all the Thai Global Chair, Thai Global team, and we have Banu here, the Pitch Fest, everyone who has been behind the scenes, but they have been doing great work. And I want to recognize judges also today. We have, thank you Shobu for taking time out, Vikas, from co-founder of V-Founder Circle. They've been a big support for the whole TGS too. And Shri Peddu, I know it's tough to party late and come back early morning. So Ajay Jain has been co-founder of Silver Needle, and Shanta from TSIC, our own TSIC, so, and Chandu Garu from OTSI. Thank you. Thanks for taking time out, and all the investors, and Jay Garu and Monish, Santosh, and everyone who've been kind support for all the kids out here. So the next participant, again, is very, very interesting, because if you see today, every student here is trying to solve some or other problem which we can relate to. And the next one, India relates to that problem in a very big way, the visually impaired ones. And we have Chinmay from Thai Rajasthan from Bliss Care. Thank you. Big round of applause, please. Audience. Thank you.
So what you can see on the screen, it's a complete darkness, right? The darkness you feel when you close your eyes or when you go to sleep. But this darkness is in the life of 286 million visually impaired people over the globe who cannot see this beautiful world and are also deprived of a basic education, which is a basic human right. Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah. So we are here to solve this problem, and we are Team Bliss Care. That stands for Blind Students Care. Now, how it started for us? It started for us with a person named Sanjay. Who is Sanjay? Sanjay is our brother, and we saw him growing as a visually impaired, struggling in the life, not getting equal opportunities, not getting basic educational and job opportunities. So that is the life of Sanjay. But like Sanjay, there are 286 million visually impaired people over the globe. Of this, 63 million are Indian, and only 5% get any sort of education due to lack of a braille literacy. Now, why this problem arises? Because the production of a braille formatted book is very expensive. And if I say the production of only 100 pages is costing around 4,000 to 5,000 INR, which is not at all affordable. And if I want to give you an example, our favorite Harry Potter book, which is costing us at only 270 INR, but same to the visually impaired in the braille format is costing at around 5,000 INR. Again, the printer available to us is starting from 8,000 to 10,000 INR, but the printer available for the visual impaired, that is a braille printer, is starting from 2 lakh INR. So the resources are very expensive, and the education has a huge gap. So there's a need for the solution, and this particular population is expected to grow by 412 million in the coming 10 years. Now, if you look at the extent, like in India, the literacy rate is only 5%, but in the developed country as well, the literacy rate is abysmal. So for the same, we are here with a solution. That is a braille display system or a braille tablet. But this is not a normal tablet that we use. It is a physical hardware device we have created with a screen on it, which has a holes from which the beads bulges out at a real time, forming a braille pattern which can convert any text, diagram, or a map into physical dotted braille format to help a visual impaired in the education as well as in the daily life. So that is what we bring in. As well as it can adapt in a grade 1 and grade 2 model. That replicates to 2 variants of a braille model that varies according to multivariate languages. So we support multiple languages with the same solution. At the same time, we give them access to unlimited content that is available online and offline. Online may be any of the web pages, offline may be any of the PDFs or documents. So basically, we are Amazon Kindle, but for the visual impaired in the braille format. So here are a few of the features. We have voice recognition system as well as talkback mechanism to support visually impaired while using this particular platform. Now consider I'm a visually impaired and I'm struggling to understand the braille, or I don't know how to understand braille. So we got it covered with a haptic feedback mechanism that is based on special vibration waveform which guides the visually impaired through the braille pattern. So we are making them completely independent in reading, writing, and understanding braille by themselves. So currently they have to be dependent on teachers or someone else to help in the education or in some of the parts in the life. So that is something that we are making them independent with the help of this solution. So this is the video. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. So on the left side, you can see visually impaired girl trying to feel a braille pattern, which is the prototype that we have created initially. So, but I'll show the video later as it does. So on the top left corner, you can see beads bulging out and how the braille pattern is being formed, which can be felt with the help of fingertips. So that is how it looks. And currently, we are in the MVP stage and are actively testing it with blind institutes and NGOs. And these are few of the testimonials out of that. Now, what is the USP or the key aspect? So it's a unique mechanics that is 3 times cost efficient and that can be scaled up easily. Second, the intellectual property that is acting as a barrier to entry. One is a utility patent or a process patent. Second, it is design patent, which is currently in the provisional state, and we are working on the final one. As well as it's 25 times less in comparison to other technologies, the cost of it. Now, what is the market? TAM is 286 plus million users that is divided over the globe. SAM is 63 plus million users that is divided over India. SOM is 3 plus million users that we are targeting B2B and B2G market initially. So we are targeting blind institutes, blind association, NGOs at initial level, as well as government supporting the Divyangjan Yojana specifically, as well as few of the big MNCs like Accenture or KPMG are supporting disabled individuals for their career and for their education via CSR activity as well. So they are also one of the target for us. Now, this is a go-to-market strategy on how we are approaching this particular market that we have. So we have already started with this process, that is direct approach with the product demonstration, where we are approaching government agencies, blind institutes, and designated offices directly with the demonstration. Second, launching MVP containing open source content. And third, we are forming a community for the visually impaired. They can learn from each other, they can share each other's work, they can exchange learnings with each other. So like we have a community like IEEE ACM for ourselves, where we can learn, we can research, and we can explore. Similar is that, but for the visually impaired with a braille format. Now, what is the channels that we are going to use? Radio and audio promotion, NGOs, media outlets, social and welfare forums are few of the channels that we are utilizing in the initial stage. Now, what is the revenue stream? 1 unit cost of this device is 10,000 INR. Attachable module like braille keyboard is starting from 300 INR. Revenue stream 2 is a recurring revenue for us. That is an interactive content subscription, specifically gamified in the braille language, which packages are ranging from 500 to 1,500 INR per quarter. Now, initial grant that we seek is 10 lakh INR, and for setting up whole manufacturing unit, the cost estimated is 180 to 185 lakh for setting up whole manufacturing. But this is something that we are looking after 2 years, because initially for the first 2 years, we are planning to do it on the contract manufacturing basis. And this is a detailed break-even analysis for the first 5 years. With this, break-even is estimated in 2 years, 1 month. Now, this is a fund requirement that we have, that is 2 CR that we are looking for. And for the first 12 years, for 12 months specifically, for the dilution of 5%. Now, this is a cost structure, detailed cost structure, talking about salaries and technology costs that is involved specifically with this structure. Now, this is a competitor analysis. BrailleMe, Project Mudra are the Indian competitor for us. Michigan Braille device and BlackType are the foreign competitor for us. But in comparison to them, we provide full-fledged tablet device. That is, we can replicate whole page at a real time, which our competitor cannot do. If you must have seen few of the technologies that is coming up, they can replicate one line at a time. So that is helping them in learning Braille. But our agenda is to provide them with access to content that is available online and offline. So that is something different that we are doing in comparison to competitor. Second, we provide them with a Learn Braille feature that is completely making them independent in reading, writing, and understanding Braille by themselves. Third, we provide them with the adapted content, like at a real time, they can access any of the content. For example, if they want to get access to the Wikipedia in the Braille format, they can get at a real time. So that is something new that we are bringing in. As well as our maintenance cost and pricing is also very low in comparison to competitor. This is my team. My name is Charminar. I'm working around the product side, and I love to work around product and other innovations. Nikita, she's taking care of most important part. She's the one who spends the time with the users, empathizes with them, and does the R&D for the team. So she's overall connected with them. Vilash is taking care of setting up a demo, software side. So he's taking care of all that aspect. We have support team, advisors, and medical advisors specifically for the touch-based education that we have. And these are few of the highlights of our innovation and for the work that we have already done. And these are few of the glimpses to get you through it. And yes, these are few of the SDG goals that we tap into, and few of the recognitions from 3M, Ericsson, KPMG, and MITI Government of India. And yes, I'm here for your feedback and for your support, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. The timer, please, for the judges.
Can you just put back the slide of competitors?
Sure.
I just want to see that, yeah.
So how did you arrive at the 10,000 rupees price point?
Sure. So our marketing cost and operational cost and for manufacturing this particular unit is 5,849. So we are expecting 40% margin on each device. So that is something that we have arrived at. But before that, we did a research. So on each student in a year, they are spending approximately 20 to 25,000 for only resources of the education. So that is something that we thought of, that the cost of this particular device has to be lower than that. So that is something that we have arrived, that we have worked on and researched, and we have arrived at this particular cost.
I think I missed it, but how are you getting the content? What kind of content will you be getting?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sir, consider you have a PDF or maybe any of the book, so that you want to convert into a Braille, so just you need to upload. Like we have an Amazon Kindle, right? So we just need to upload it into a system and it will readily get you converted into a Braille format. So that is how it is.
So the user chooses which content he wants to
Yes.
upload in.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's exactly the moat? Is it the price point, or that the content is not available or possibly not available on any other competitors?
Sure. Sir, first thing is we are bringing something new. It's a complete tablet device. We can replicate 15 lines together, which our competitor cannot do. So this is something new. It gives a feel of reading a whole page. But in comparison to us, in the competitor, so they are trying to replicate only 1 or 2 lines at a time. So like if you must have seen Annie that came in Shark Tank India, their agenda is to specifically increase the understanding of Braille in an individual. But our agenda is to basically make content accessible that is available on unlimited content that is available online and offline. So that is our agenda specifically with this device. As well as this costing is another icing on the cake on that.
How many devices you can produce in a month?
Sir, as of now, we are testing it with Blind Institute. So we have generated 7 MVP, you can say, and we are testing it with Blind Institute, setting up an integrated classroom in that institution, as of now.
We still have 2 minutes, judges and investors, if you have any comments or questions.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about working with national institutes, right? So you said only 34. Why? Like when it comes to piloting, like you wanted to kind of deploy these devices with them and make the visually impaired to kind of use the device and give feedback to you, right? Why did you choose 34?
No, it's not actually the number of institutes. It's number of students in a classroom. That is 30. 32 students in a classroom.
In a classroom.
Yes.
So are you working with any of the national institutes based out of Hyderabad?
Yes. One is Blind Deaf Association, that's in Nagpur region. Second is Saksham NGO, that's working in Maharashtra region. Third is Samarpan NGO, that's working in Bihar and Jharkhand region. And recently we have moved into Bangalore for Rakum School of Blind and specifically starting with that.
If you need any connections in Hyderabad, please do let me know. I'll
Surely,
be happy
ma'am,
to
that
connect
would be
some
really
national
helpful.
institutes for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Recently, I think. Is it done?
One last question.
One last.
I saw that you were targeting almost 1% of the overall population, right? So are there any thoughts of actually scaling this up, the impact it can create and at the price point that you're quoting? So is there any thought at this point to actually make this widely accessible and benefit a larger population?
Yes, sir. Sir, that 1% is readily available, a market for us. So that is something that we are initially tapping. But yes, we do have the plans to go global in the coming 2 years.
Awesome. Yeah, I think he's getting business also, rather than questions. So I think because Shanta recently did an assistive care exhibition, I think you should connect.
Sure.
It was World Disability Day. You should meet her. Give a big round of applause to Chinmay and for his presentation, and we'll wait for the judges to mark the scores. I see something with students and disability and the healthcare, lots of solutions come in that area. Yesterday when we had 40 teams, I was surprised to see at least 18 to 20 teams. Everybody wants to solve some or other problem, especially in the health area. And the next biggest or the most glamorous area is the mental health. Nobody knows what is mental health, and everybody wants to solve mental health. That's another big thing. So, but you want to have a meaningful solution. Yeah, I want to make a small announcement. Ravi has lost his phone. Oh, your phone? You found it? Ritika? Not yet? Fine. Okay. That's not a problem. Fine? Done. Okay. So we'll have our next participant, the first international participant of the two, Vitalize Care from Thai DC, Sanket. So the stage is all yours. The reason why I said mental health, he said mental health of healthcare workers. How to improve the mental health of healthcare workers is his project. And the startup idea, he traveled all the way from DC for this. Yep.
Hi everyone, my name is Sanket and I'm the co-founder of Vitalize. From as early as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a patient caregiver. I've always looked up to the clinicians around me and their ability to take care of patients at their most vulnerable times. And so over the last few years, I spent thousands of hours working right by their side as a medical assistant and a volunteer. But it didn't take long to recognize that the clinicians around me were constantly burned out. They were emotionally exhausted, disconnected from their patients, and most disheartening to me, they were losing their sense of purpose in medicine. In fact, today over 60% of the United States healthcare workforce is burned out, and nearly a half wish to quit their profession for this reason right now. This is costing our healthcare system over $60 billion annually and is sacrificing our ability to deliver high-quality patient care. Reducing burnout is a top priority for every hospital in the United States. And so, being the curious person I was, I started talking to every single clinician I could get in touch with, and I apologize, the formatting seems to be a bit messed up. At the midst of the pandemic, I even volunteered at the hospital just so I could talk to clinicians about their experiences. And what we learned was that current solutions struggle with engagement and retention. Most hospitals offer employee assistance programs, but historically, they only have 5% engagement rates for a few key reasons. One, they have staffing shortages, and so this results in long wait times and complicated onboarding processes, resulting in it almost taking up to 4 weeks to see a therapist. Two, they only focus on one-on-one therapy and lack peer support, which is a crucial part of the mental health journey. And three, they're highly stigmatized because attending a therapy session at work can actually jeopardize your career. On the other hand, many of the anonymous digital solutions such as Headspace, Calm, and even more employee-wide platforms such as Burnalong don't cater to the unique challenges of working in healthcare. But you and I know that healthcare workers are exposed to illness and death on a daily basis, and they require resources that reflect what they see every day. And this is exactly why we're building Vitalize, a verticalized mental health solution tailored to the unique challenges of working in healthcare. For individual healthcare workers, we offer a virtual mental health coaching service that is led by clinician coaches themselves and is complemented by text-based peer support and a large library of on-demand mindfulness content. And then for employers, we provide value by offering a web-based data dashboard, providing actionable insights on staff mental health trends, app engagement, and ultimately drivers of burnout at their institution. We co-designed our solution with 50 clinicians and actually published research to back our product development process. At Vitalize, we recognize that no one understands healthcare workers better than healthcare workers themselves. And this is why we're building a coaching workforce of coaches who are clinicians by background and have been in the shoes of our users. During coaching sessions, people are able to access topics such as coping with the grief of losing a patient or breaking bad news, or even dealing with an uncooperative patient, and they're able to connect anonymously with other peers who are facing similar challenges. We're also one of the first mental health platforms to provide full control over anonymity, including real-time voice changing, so that they're not recognizable by their employer or by their peers on the same call. Our revenue model is B2B, where we offer our platform as an employee benefit to healthcare employers. We define healthcare employers as hospitals, health systems, provider groups, medical societies, and healthcare staffing companies. And our pricing starts at $120 per seat per year, but as we scale the size of our contract, that slowly gets lower and lower. And taking this analysis around pricing and willingness to pay and applying it to the 26 million healthcare workers in the United States, our serviceable attainable market is $3 billion. Especially coming out of the stress of COVID-19 and in the pandemic, our customers and the government are investing in this problem at an all-time high. And so we're confident that we're entering this market at the right time. Just last month, we converted our unpaid pilot at a health system into a paid annual contract valued at $35,000, where we're launching to over 2,000 staff members about 30 days from now. Nerve-wracking, but also very exciting. We also just received our second letter of intent for a contract at the University of Vermont, where our pricing took a slight increase. We're working towards that 120 figure over the next couple contracts. And we have about $1.1 million worth of contracts in our sales pipeline right now that we're negotiating, that we're hoping to close about 3 to 4 additional contracts by the end of January. Now, of course, the elephant in the room. Selling to healthcare institutions is difficult. The sales cycles are long. And so over the last few months, we really honed in on figuring out strategies that allow us to tackle that. And this is what we landed on. First, we're utilizing a land and expand model where we start with small phase 1 implementations at a departmental level, prove our value, and convert that into a larger paid contract, just like we did at our first customer site. Second, we're selling to staffing organizations, which allow us to gain users from hospitals across the country that are going to be champions for us and get us in touch with key decision makers at these institutions. And third, we're in late-stage talks with partnerships with large national trade organizations, such as the American Nursing Association, American Medical Association, and even the Laura Breen Foundation. And that allows us to, again, get in touch with the hospitals and health systems that are actively looking for solutions like ours. Finally, we're hyper-focused on the clinical validation of our product, which allows us to eventually build relationships with payers for reimbursement of our services. That allows us to drive our cost of goods down and also increases our margins, ultimately allowing us to be more accessible for the institutions that need it. Using these strategies, we hope to hit about $1 million in contracted ARR by the end of 2023, and we'll achieve profitability by the end of 2024 as we scale our platform, move our coaches to a salaried model, and service more healthcare workers overall. And to hit these revenue targets, we're raising currently a $1 million pre-seed round, which we kicked off about 2 months ago and have already closed $800,000, including by notable investors such as Y Combinator. And we're using this funding to continue iterating on our product as we're trying to figure out what is going to stick with healthcare workers and achieve product market fit, and also execute on those 12 contracts that we anticipate getting over the next 12 months. We've been able to achieve all of this because of my amazing team. Myself, I previously have published research in clinician mental health, led product strategy for a seed stage pediatric health tech startup, and was a healthcare venture fellow with 406 Ventures. My co-founder, who I learn from every day, just dropped out of his PhD program at the University of Cambridge in digital health. He previously founded 2 health tech ventures and also conducted clinician mental health work with the US Surgeon General during the COVID-19 pandemic. Our CTO, Nikhil, is the technical mastermind behind what we're building. He was previously an early engineer, one of the first 3 engineers at Vincere Health, which just partnered with United Healthcare in the US. And of course, we recognize that our 3 co-founders, we're not clinicians ourselves, but we're building something for clinicians. And so we have a chief medical officer, Dr. Wu, who brings the experience of over 10 years of practicing medicine, is a health and wellness coach herself, and is a previous founder in the space and the previous president of a provider medical group. We're also supported by amazing advisors that span healthcare entrepreneurs, executives, and thought leaders supporting our mission. Our mission to restore the purpose and joy and improve the well-being of healthcare workers globally so that millions of patients receive the best care possible. Thank you.
Awesome. So you care for time also?
Oh yeah. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Okay, the judges' timer on, please. Yeah, Shri.
Yeah. Sanket, great presentation. I think much needed. Help me understand, there are a bunch of wellness solutions in the market.
Right.
You're targeting, I understand, healthcare professionals. How is it different, right? Why this versus all the other solutions?
Of course.
And 2, how do you qualify your coaches, your wellness coaches? How do you, pick them out and qualify them?
Yeah, and those kind of go hand in hand. So one of our biggest value propositions is the coaching pipeline that we've built. Each of our coaches are healthcare workers themselves, and so they can uniquely understand our users. When we vet coaches, we look for people with clinical backgrounds and also experience working with the healthcare worker population. We're taking all of those insights, figuring out how to deliver it in a scalable way, and our IP is the coaching protocols that we're putting together and learning from these insights to drive engagement and retention. to complement that, if apps like Headspace and Calm have amazing libraries of content, but we learned from our customer discovery that while 2/3 of them are trying these apps, 90% of them stop using them in less than 2 weeks. And that's because these apps don't deal with the traumas of, being exposed to illness and death on a daily basis, or the difficult decisions that clinicians have to make every day. And so we're taking all of those insights from our end users and translating it into on-demand content, specific and tailored coaching sessions, and eventually the biggest value proposition for employers is the data that we're providing them on healthcare-specific drivers of burnout so that they can take further action and invest accordingly in the right department, right specialty, right programs.
Fantastic. I'd like to learn more. I'd like to speak with you. We may be able to fill the rest of your round.
Thank you.
It's a powerhouse reply.
I have two questions. The Midland Health that you mentioned is Midland, Texas Health System?
Midland, Texas, yes.
Okay. The second one is, who are you partnering with? What kind of organizations?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
What kind of organizations you are partnering with?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, large national trade organizations such as the American Medical Association, American Nursing Association, these are large coalitions of the healthcare workers in the United States, and they're massive. Obviously, clinician well-being is a very big focus for these organizations, and they have ties to every hospital and health system in the country because they provide funding, they collaborate on research with them, and they're actually right now, we're working with them to secure academic partnerships that allow us to clinically validate our product.
If I can ask one more. Did you try to attend HLTH conference?
I was there in Vegas last month.
You were there, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think we have one question from Ajay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my head around the unit economics, right? I think you're doing it right now at $20 per year, the last contract.
Mm-hmm.
No, but what he got actually, right? Trying to see, you're saying live coaches, so the salary or the price per hour, and how do you justify that?
So we charge our nurse coaches $100 an hour. That tends to be our highest active user population. We also have a few physician coaches for the physician population. That's typically 1/3 of the nurse population, and then allied health coaches, which is about the same size of nursing. Now, it's $120 per user per year, but that's on a seat basis, right? So even if someone doesn't use the platform, the hospital is paying for that seat. And so what ends up happening is if we get 20% engagement per engaged user, we're actually charging about $50 to $60 per month. 20% engagement for us is a really gold standard because this is a difficult population. And as I said, historically engagement rates are 5%, and so that's how our unit economics work out. Now, once we surpass that 20%, which is of course our goal, the payer relationships allow us to reimburse the coaches. And so we're not actually paying that $100, we might be paying about 50% of that, allowing us to scale our profitability.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a question. So in general, in a mental health space, the biggest problem is for somebody to acknowledge that I have a problem.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem of this industry.
Of course.
And then you get the customer and whatever revenue happen. How are you going to address that basic problem in any industry for that matter?
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about COVID is that it brought to the forefront of everyone's mind that mental health is something that needs to be discussed. And the healthcare workers themselves are demanding their hospitals to offer more solutions for them, right? And so it's already openly being discussed, but the biggest difficulty is, even though it's being discussed, no one wants to be seen accessing a therapy session, right? No one wants to be seen walking into the employee health center of their hospital. And that's what we're fixing with our virtual care option. And as our newer workforces are coming, one of our beachhead markets is actually resident physicians. So these are people that just graduated from medical school and began training. They're the young population that's actively constantly talking about mental health. And so we're starting there, and we're spurring conversations with the hopes of eliminating the stigma of mental health in the workplace.
Awesome. Thank you, Sangeet. Thank
Yeah.
you. And it's been a good, you have got powerhouse replies. So you'll know you'll get something there. Give a big round of applause. But Sangeet, before you leave, want to say something in Telugu to your relatives or anyone? Yeah. I want to listen to you saying something in Telugu.
Okay.
ఎలా అనిపించింది నీకు నిన్న ఈరోజు?
నేను హైదరాబాద్కి వచ్చిన వలన నా ఫ్యామిలీ ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది.
తెలుగు
తెలుగులోనే మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. నా ఫ్యామిలీ కోసం చూడడానికి I'm very excited.
కుటుంబం, family.
English and Telugu mix. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I didn't practice for that.
You're not expecting that, so I thought I'll just pull your leg. So he was telling like now lots of relatives are calling me. I said once you win a $20,000 check or $10,000 check, more will invite you. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we started with bricks in the construction segment. We went into the whole brain, neurons, now care and everything. Again, the last pitch again goes back to the construction. So it's like either body construction or the building construction. So now we have Nicholas from Thai, Germany, Spectre Automation, a model-based assistance system for construction execution. Is ready? Yeah? Awesome. I cannot ask Nicholas to talk in Telugu. Yeah. Awesome. Give a big round of applause for Nicholas. Yeah.
So can you hear me? Okay, great. So last but not least, I hope. Welcome everyone. I'm Nicholas, co-founder of Spectre Automation. Are we waiting for the jury or are we starting? Ah, okay, sorry. Ich weiß nicht, ob mich Leute hier verstehen würden.
Yeah. Paul, Germans are always on time. Can't help it, you know. Yeah.
Well, I'll be interested to learn a couple of words of Telugu or Hindi.
Andariki.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram.
Say it again. Andariki namaskaram.
Andariki namaskaram. Hope that means welcome. I don't know.
Yeah. Saying hi.
Ah, okay, great.
Naku. Ekkuva. Markulu.
Mahaguru.
Markulu. Veyandi.
Veyelgi.
Means give me more score. Is it fixed, guys? Germany से आ रहा है नहीं तो deck. Yeah. So Nicholas' deck is presented from online actually. So it's like that's the reason it's not loaded into the system. So that's the small glitch. It will be done.
Okay.
Shant, I know. So how was your experience last day? How many friends you made?
2 flights. So
2?
Quite a distance. Yeah, I had a layover at Delhi, and then arrived on Sunday night to get acquainted with here.
So you're feeling bad that Germany did not qualify yet? Yep.
It's okay. I mean, they kind of didn't deserve it, right? So.
Yeah. So he's gonna compensate that. Awesome.
Ah,
Okay.
there we go.
Awesome.
At least here it's starting to show. So yeah.
Just check it loading. Yeah, it's working good.
Looks good. Yeah. Can you press top right this icon for full screen, like the white one? Bottom right. Exactly. Okay. Well, I hope now everyone is awake again for the last pitch. I think we are ready to start. So again, welcome everyone. I'm Nicholas, co-founder of Spectre Automation. We revolutionize how construction is planned, organized, and communicated through the power of data. The construction industry is fundamental to our society, with 13% of global GDP. At the same time, it is the second worst digitized industry and has suffered from an extremely low productivity growth of just 0.26% per year over the past decades. Now, if we take a closer look at construction, we can see that a lot of information is actually created digitally, especially during the planning phase. So I'm talking about 3D models, about detailed calculations, about pre-construction planning. In the construction process itself, so on the construction site, there's also a wealth of information that is generated. But currently, there's a huge information gap between planning and execution. Processes on the construction site are mostly analog, and up to 96% of data actually remains underutilized. At the center of this is the construction management, who have no easy solution for accessing the wealth of information from the planning phase because it is locked in information silos and various different complex programs. To make this more tangible, let's take a look at how construction looks today. The construction management is actually overwhelmed by loads and loads of paper. They have to resort to doing manual calculations for quantities. They do their weekly planning by doing markups on paper, denoting what specific tasks are happening at what specific day to communicate, writing down dates, and colorizing the different kind of objects. And if they are really advanced, they might use some systems with post-its to plan ahead for the next couple of weeks and see if there are any conflicts. Now, the issue with this is that this information is just analog, it's not connected, and construction is very complex. So it's easy to miss very critical information. With Spectre, we have created exactly the solution to bridge this gap between planning and execution and create a continuous information flow. We have developed a cloud software solution that integrates all the information from pre-construction planning and makes it accessible in one environment. It makes it usable for all of the different processes for construction management that are needed on site on a daily basis. And in doing so, we actually allow for the collection of real-time data and automatic documentation. By using this system, we are simultaneously creating the basis to learn for future projects. Now, this is how our software looks like. You can see the 3D model to actually have a visual of what you're building and the construction schedule. You can click on any object within the model, and then the construction management can see what are the specific tasks needed to construct this, what are the specific quantities and times. And they can drag and drop them into a digital week plan to coordinate. Now, doing so, saying what is actually happening at what point in time allows for easier communication. And we can use this information to bring it into a variety of displays. Now, I've just shown you that construction today is still very analog and 2D based. What we can do using this system is also generate these 2D view plans, but automatically for any period of time without needing to mark it manually, and depict what kind of objects are being worked on by what trades on a specific date. Now, from a management perspective or controlling perspective, the construction manager can take an aggregated view. At any point in time, we can see how far along are we actually in the construction process for an individual task or the whole construction site. We can see how much has already been completed, what is being planned, and even give estimations when are we going to be finished with our project here. So what we do in essence is taking the status quo of scattered information, of gut-based management, to a new dimension of interconnected 3D-based execution management. And in doing so, we are able to reduce human error because we take out some of the complexity of information complexity of construction, and we increase productivity. And all of the different aspects that are happening for construction managers on a daily basis, we are actually saving them time. And currently, with this information gap and gut-based management, up to 1/3 of the activities on site are actually considered to be waste activities, so non-value adding. And many projects are running over budget and over time. With the approach of data-driven management, we are actually unlocking a huge potential. Even small productivity increases of few percent unlock billions in savings potential. Now, our business case behind this is SaaS licenses. And to make it more precise, let's assume an example of one of our early customers. If we take an average license fee of 650 euro per month per project and assume 36 project licenses, which is about 80% of their construction projects, we are doing already 280K in revenue with just one key account, which is roughly about 0.1% of the overall revenue. Now, transferring this to our early 6 customers, this is already potential of over 2 million in ARR. Let's take a look at the market here. So in Germany, the construction market is about 450 billion. But we are just focusing on the top 3% largest construction companies who really feel the need to innovate and have these large construction projects that are quite complex. With this focus, we are looking at a sum in Germany alone at 650 million. But the problem that we are solving here is an international one, and construction is a global aspect. So in terms of a global perspective, we're actually looking at a market of billions. We've just started in Germany, are currently expanding within Europe, especially Scandinavia and France, but are very open to go beyond. So I'm happy to talk to anyone who's interested in learning more. Briefly looking at the competitive landscape, we can see that the construction tech space is a very hot space. So many solutions are looking to solve the problems of one of the largest and undigitized remaining industries. But we have looked at over 140 solutions out there and still clearly identified a white space for us and looked at both startups and existing solutions. Now, many of the solutions are focusing on the planning phase. That's what I've talked about in the beginning. They are focusing around modeling, around scheduling, around calculations, which actually constitutes a great basis for us to build upon. Some of the solutions are pushing in execution itself, but they most often have a very narrow focus and they fail to integrate the upfront data. So they do not provide an encompassing view. What makes us so unique here is our focus and our approach to storing and accessing information in 3D. Because 3D is actually a beautiful data format and mode of transporting information for construction. You know what you're building, you have the direct access and see what specific components are available. And this approach is not something that we've just developed from the outside. Rather, from the beginning on, we've adopted a very user-centric co-development approach. I myself have spent over 40 days on construction sites alone this year. And this strong user focus is also reflected in our progress. We founded Spectre just last year in May and started with our first pilot project in August. Today, we are already covering all types of superficial building structures from industrial over residential to public and even infrastructure. And our software is used daily on many construction sites with multiple paying customers. And this was only possible with a very driven team. So I'm just one of 5 co-founders. We have complementary skills in business and tech and a personal background in the construction industry. Today, we have already grown our team to 19 awesome Specties who are all very excited to take construction to the next level. So let us start the construction of our tomorrow together. Thank you.
Awesome. The jury time. Timer, please. Yeah. Jury time, please. And by the way, awesome. Can I get that jacket?
The jacket? Sure. From before.
Yeah, acha hai. Okay. Awesome. Nice jacket. Yeah. Okay. Jury are still constructing their questions.
I believe there are many, but it's also quite complex. So.
Yeah. So my family comes from the same segment of construction. So I could very much relate to it. And I have a problem with the entire project. Are we actually integrating the material requirement also in the project? Is there a particular indent which is raised immediately when you know what is the next step of construction which is happening? Is there sufficient amount of material available or should I order? Is there a particular vendor onboarded? Is that process also integrated in it? Because supply chain is also important in the entire construction, just not just the execution, right?
I'm really sorry, I just didn't catch
the material requirement is included into the whole automation process. Material requirement, construction material requirement.
Okay. It actually depends. So if you include it in the pre-construction planning, we know for some kind of objects or material types what kind of material is needed for this, and then you can directly see what quantities there are. So if you think about, for example, of deliveries, which is one of the examples I've shown with manual calculations, you can, let's take shell construction, for example, directly see the amount of concrete you actually need on a specific day, just by clicking on these objects and saying, okay, I'm going to do these. Now, you already know the concrete type. You know, okay, I'm going to do, I don't know, 100 cubic meters of concrete, and can then orchestrate your delivery. That's status today. In the future, we are also looking forward to making intersections, for example, with concrete delivery plans, where you can automatically just click and then have the concrete delivered to your site. Okay.
Awesome. Oh, Mike, Judge Mike, please. Yeah. You can go ahead, Charminar.
Yeah. What are the challenges that you foresee in executing this project?
Yeah. Good question. So I think one of the main challenges is that it's also about a certain change process, right? So construction today, as I've outlined, is very, very analogously driven. Now, we are seeing already with construction managers, they really feel the need. They have to coordinate the construction site. They are more eager to adopt solutions. Now, if they are working in digital, the question remains, okay, how to transport this information to the subcontractors who might still be away from digital. Theoretically, it's a cloud software. We can give them all access. The question is whether they want this. Now, until they are actually wanting this, we provide different ways. For example, the printout I've shown you in order to communicate this information and to kind of also make the bridge in this area. That's one of the challenges, and one of the other challenges is that it's a focus on large B2B companies, right? So I'm talking about construction companies with several hundred millions of revenue or even billions of revenue. So the cycles, there are complex buying centers. You have to go through quite a lot of meetings there, and it takes a bit of time. It's not the easiest to do for a startup. But nevertheless, I think we are on a very good track here. And we've already convinced numerous very large players, especially within Germany, because they are really in need of solutions for this.
Awesome.
So the challenges are more on the process than on fixing the tech issues. Is that right?
Yes, for tech issues, we've got a very strong technical team who are all very, very good in doing this. It's more on the consumer side, so to say.
Excellent, thank you.
Awesome. Great
And
job,
what is
Nicholas.
what is the ask that you are looking for?
For now, open for communication, learning more about the local market and getting into contact, and then let's see what's coming out from there.
Do you require any funding as well?
Well, it's open, but it's something, before accepting, I need to know more about the market and everything.
We love real estate, Hyderabad.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of construction sites out here,
We'll
so
talk.
it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have one question from the investors.
Probably I missed it. What kind of efficiencies, if you have computed like the return on investment that these companies will get? Like the one example you showed, like a 300 million euro company, the license would be about 280K. What kind of returns they would get in terms of efficiencies?
So the question is what kind of additions we are providing to expand our revenue, or?
What is the ROI? I use this software.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a fairly good question. But if I've shown you before that a lot of tasks on the construction side are actually waste activities, and then I pull up this slide where it's showing you how much time we're actually saving the construction management each day, you can see that the ROI is going strongly in terms of less waste that is generated during, wait, one slide back, during the construction site. For example, take concrete deliveries. You only got 90 minutes in order to fulfill this. Now, if you are coordinating this wrongly, you're putting away money. There is rework to be done. So if you are building wrong objects, oftentimes we've already noticed that they have to tear down existing structures already because it was built wrongly. So ROI is up to a factor of 10, depending on kind of time and the efficiency the company is already running on.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicholas. I guess we are done with time. Yeah?
Perfect.
Nenu? Say something.
Nenu?
Hyderabad?
Nenu, Hyderabad.
Malli Vasta.
Mali Vasta.
Thank you. Okay. Awesome. Now we have a surprise. A quick, judges are noting down their marks and stuff, but we have a quick surprise. It's like we're gonna do an elevator pitch. So we have Chandu and other judges and kind of stuff. They said, let's get a special prize for a best elevator pitch. So Yes, yes, yes. So all the six pitchers who are done, they'll pitch for 1 minute again. So there's a one best elevator pitch, exact 1 minute, we're gonna stop that. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, yeah. So because we have the next panel ready too, we cannot take much time. 5 minutes, it's done, yeah. So first, quickly we'll be done. 1 minute timer, please. 1 minute timer, please, yep. Okay, if not, the Mahesh Joshi is up, rok do. Awesome. The first startup, again, we have Angrius. No slides or nothing. Come, come, come. We have a special prize. By the way, at 11, we have the prize, 11:20, we'll have the prizes at Falaknuma. And we have a great session after that. There also Dr. Kiran Patel is talking. Kindly stop the timer, please. Dr. Kiran Patel, who created 11 unicorns in the last decade, in Falaknuma, there's a session also at 10:30. Thank you. Yeah. So can you just reset the timer to 1? Okay, yeah. Can start.
Today, the clay brick industry contribute to the 9% of the carbon emission, consuming million tons of natural resources every year. And this industry is at the edge of getting closed down by the central government. At Angiras, we have developed in-house eco-friendly patent-pending technology to recycle alternate available waste material like single-use plastic waste and other industrial waste. Our flagship product bricks is 30% lightweight, 80% waterproof, and 20% and 40% stronger as tested by the NABL and ISO labs. Our objective is to provide sustainable but better quality building material products to the clay brick industry in India, which is worth around 25 billion USD in India. Recently, we have raised more than 1 CR of seed funding for the broad development and pilot validation, and we are looking to raise 2 CR INR of seed funding for the commercial setup and scaling in the green building market. Thank you so much.
Zuron.
Thank you.
The brain is a complex organ and it controls everything in the body directly or indirectly. Zuron.ai, we are building a system to decipher the brain such that we can help people to reverse and manage diseases better. In near future, we'll be helping people to monitor disease progression, supporting interventions, and finally, predict and prevent diseases such that all individuals can live a happy and healthy life. In a nutshell, we can be paraphrased as Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May everyone in this world be happy. Thank you.
Awesome. We have Aero Go. Yeah, mic de de yaar. Yeah.
So each one of us here, when we are child, we always thought of let me be a pilot, or I want to become an astronaut. Let's trigger that curiosity, instill that passion in the global level, in the children of this generation who are going to drive the future generation in the innovation. Let's stop the IT, and let's stop this most of the mechanical, aeronautical, civil engineers nowadays are, 90% of them are shifting their career to IT and to make just some money. But yeah, let's make an opportunity for them. Let's bring the complex sciences, split it down to a simple sciences. Let's make learning fun and more skill-based, more productive learning to the youngsters nowadays. And thank you. We are AeroGo, one-stop solution for learning.
Thank you. Bliss Care. Good adrenaline rush, no? It's good. Some things, yeah.
286 million. That's the number of visually impaired people over the globe who cannot see this beautiful world and are also deprived of a basic education, as well as their education is lacking way behind in comparison to us. So for same, we are here with a Braille display system or a Braille tablet that can convert any text, diagram, map into physical dotted Braille format to help a visually impaired in the daily life. We are 3 times cost efficient, and that can be scaled up quickly with a patent on it, as well as it is priced at only 10,000 INR, and we are here to make a life of a visually impaired a little better than yesterday it was. Thank you.
Awesome. Vitalize Care.
Over 60% of our healthcare workforce is burned out, costing our healthcare system billions of dollars annually and sacrificing the quality of care that patients receive. At Vitalize, we work with healthcare employers to improve the mental health of their staff. And we're doing that by delivering a virtual mental health coaching service complemented by text-based peer support and a large library of on-demand content, all while providing their employers actionable insights on staff mental health trends, app engagement, and drivers of burnout at their institution. We just signed our first contract with the health system, where we're launching to over 2,000 staff members in January, and we have over $1.1 million in contracted annual revenue in our pipeline right now. We're closing a $1 million pre-seed round at the end of this year and starting Y Combinator next month, and would love for everyone to join the mission of improving the mental health of healthcare workers globally. Thank you.
Awesome. Spectre. Jara man, mellaga.
The construction industry is huge, is severely under-digitized, and has a lot of foregone potential in savings. With Spectre Automation, we built a cloud platform for software or construction execution management. We are bridging the gap between planning and execution, allowing a continuous information flow based on a 3D-based system. Now, construction management can plan the different tasks, automatically track progress, and monitor the construction site to control it even better and communicate with the subcontractors. Doing this unlocks a huge potential in savings based on the many non-value-adding activities that are currently there. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. So before we wind up, I request all the judges to be on stage and the investors also. Judges to get a small felicitation. I request Jay Garu to felicitate our judges on the stage. Please, kindly onto the stage. And I request investors also to be onto the stage. Some of them have received felicitation yesterday, the others also. Yeah, Abhiram and others. Yeah. Come one. Mementos, please. And I request Subbu and Ravi and Bhanu to join on the stage. It was a great event without your support in the morning, 8 o'clock. Very tough to come down. We have our next panel waiting, Dr. Vaidyas. Nice to see you. We'll have the awards announcement at 11:20 in Falaknuma. Yeah? Please be there. The one group picture, and thank you Abhijit for accommodating us the 5-10 minutes and all the other panelists also. Thank you.